Welcome to the CNS Podcast featuring Dr. Daryl Inaba, Research Director for CNS Productions.
Perhaps some of the strongest evidence ever about the power and just how powerful drug addiction is the really horrendous, in some ways it's a civil war that's going on right down south to our neighbor in Mexico. The war on drugs in Mexico started by their new president, Felipe Calderón, when he took office in 2006, has brought about tremendous amount of infighting amongst the cartels or the gangs trying to control territory and the drugs themselves, and then the cartels against the local police and even the Army of Mexico. In 2008, about 6,300, almost 6,300 people were killed in this drug war. Just by reference, after 6 years in Afghanistan, America has lost about 4,500 Americans in that conflict. So in just 1 year, they've lost more than America's lost for the 6 years over in Iraq. This year, just within the first 2 months, January and February 2009, over 1,000 individuals have already been killed, where the cartels mainly fighting each other for control of jurisdictions or control of drug trafficking in certain areas. And then, of course, even chief of police, families, and other people have been executed, and several more people have been kidnapped. So you have this horrendous situation in which the U.S. government just recently questioned whether or not the president had lost control of his country, and that basically the drug lords with better equipped army, better financed army than the whole Mexican government army himself has really taken over the country. Well, Calderón has strongly said that he's still in control of the country, and he predicts that he will be able to at least win a major part of the drug war by the year 2012, when he has to leave office or his term expires. Now, he also strongly admits that there's no way that they're ever going to eliminate drug processing, drug production, and drug smuggling from Mexico until the U.S. deals with their drug problem. I think there's a strong message in that, because he's absolutely right. We're the biggest customer of the drugs that come through Mexico. We continue to supply billions of dollars. The recent estimates is that Mexican drug cartels make about $10 billion a year. And the President Felipe Calderón only has about $6.5 billion every year to try and fight his a war against the drug cartel. So he's not even as well financed as the drug pushers in Mexico. So how is this money? How's this economy being generated? How they continue to finance their guns and their drug processing? Well, pretty much money is coming from the United States, and the United States is feeling this due to the problem that we aren't dealing with addiction. We have not enough treatment programs, not enough prevention programs. There's a huge gap in providing those types of services, and that only results in more and more drug users. And the power of drugs is that no matter what you need to do, if you are an addict, you will do it to maintain your addiction. And if we can't provide treatment on demand for everybody who needs it, we're going to continue to have a huge demand for drugs. The old equation of supply reduction or demand reduction, we've never been able to stem supply of drugs. As long as somebody can make money on drugs, as long as drugs bring about that much profiteering, you're going to have people stepping in to make money from the whole drug scene. So we have to then look at, again, the demand side. Why can't we do more on reducing the demand for drugs when everything that we look at in terms of treatment outcomes shows that treatment works. We're now showing some good progress in prevention. The problem is we keep spending more in this country on trying to stem the supply without trying to address the demand. The other thing I think this points out to me is a huge responsibility upon the drug users themselves. Even things like harm reduction, where we look at not trying to intervene with the drug use and just trying to reduce the harm. What we fail to look at is we look at the whole impact of what we do in the United States in terms of other countries and the lives in other countries being lost due to the fact that we have unabated drug addiction and we aren't doing enough to prevent it in this country. And their responsibility as an addict looks at their own needs, looks at struggling with their addiction. I think they have to start also looking at how their use of drug continues to fuel these real horrendous situations in countries like Mexico.
That wraps our pod for today. Thanks for visiting the CNS Podcast. Please check back soon for the next in the series and visit our website, www.cnsproductions.com.